Hi, everybody. Have I told you lately that I love you? It is the deepest privilege of my life to be your pastor. Did you know you're my favorite campus? Don't tell anybody else that, or I'd have to kill you. But did you know that your campus pastor is my favorite campus pastor? And I'm so excited for what's coming up at your campus in the near future. You're about to start what's called the Live Your Calling campaign. This is one of my favorite spiritual growth campaigns that I've written in nearly 40 years of ministry. But first, let me explain what a campaign is. You might have not heard that term. At Saddleback Church, our annual personal spiritual growth campaign is something we do every year. And it's where we take a 6-week period to focus on helping you grow spiritually in a very intense and very practical way. And we focus every area of the church on that campaign for 6 weeks. And we use six different weeks. We have 6 different features. We use 6 different learning styles. You're going to learn by listening, by reading, by watching, by talking, by discussing. 6 different learning styles to help you make a spiritual jump in your growth with the Lord. And we don't do a campaign just for adults. We do these spiritual growth campaigns for the whole church. Adults, young adults, youth, and children too. So they're going to be all learning the same thing as you are at the same time. Now, you're going to absolutely love this campaign that I've created for you called Live Your Calling. What on earth am I here for? It's an updated version with all new material based on the concepts that I first explained in the Purpose-Driven Life. Have you ever asked yourself the question, what on earth am I here for? Why am I here? This is the fundamental question of life. Now, I want to talk to you for just a few minutes about why I want you to make a commitment to show up every weekend for 6 weeks at your campus for this incredible series. Now, we're going to begin the journey by looking at the 3 most important questions of life. First is the question of existence. Why am I alive? And then we're going to look at the questions of significance. Does my life matter? And then we're going to look at the question of intention. What is my purpose in life? Can you think of anything greater than those 3 questions? Can you think of anything greater than your friends and neighbors and other people in your city need to know? Why am I here? Does my life matter? And what's the purpose of my life? There's nothing more basic than what we're about to study together. Now, you can try to find the answers to these questions on your own, but I don't recommend it. Because contrary to popular belief, you don't have the answers inside of yourself. You didn't create you, so you can't tell yourself what your purpose is. Let me say that again. You didn't create you, so you can't tell yourself what your purpose is. The only way you'll know your purpose is to talk to the Creator, God, and read the owner's manual, the Bible. Now, there are a lot of self-help books out there today to talk about having purpose in life. And some of them say, well, you just make up a purpose. Well, you can't do that. You can't just make up a purpose for your life. Let me save you some time, and let me save you all the self-help books because they all say the same thing. They all say this: follow your dream, go after your ambitions, aim high, set goals, believe that you can achieve, and never, never, never give up. Now, those are all good suggestions. There's nothing wrong with that. You ought to set goals. You ought to have dreams. You ought to believe you can change. That's good advice to becoming successful. But let me just say this. You can be a raving success in life and still not know why God put you on earth. You can be successful and not know the purpose of your life. I know many, many people who are wonderfully successful in their careers, but in their lives, their personal lives, and in their families, it's fallen apart. They don't have any idea what their purpose is because the purpose of life is not about acquiring possessions. It's not about having prestige. It's not about gaining power. It's not about experiencing pleasure. No, your purpose for your life is bigger than yourself. You were made by God and for God. And until you understand that, life isn't going to make sense. Your purpose is greater than your own fulfillment. It's greater than your own happiness or goals or dreams. Those are all good things. But they're the byproduct of fulfilling the purpose God made you for. God put you on earth for a reason. And as I said, you can have a lot of success, a lot of money, a lot of fame, but still be empty and feel your life is meaningless and feel shallow inside. Now, here's the good news. You can know your purpose because God made you for a purpose, and he wants you to know that purpose. God has never made anything without a purpose. The only way you're going to know your calling, your purpose in life, is to know God. And otherwise, it's not going to make sense. So, let me ask you this. Is there a reason? Is there a purpose for your life? Yes. Yes, there is. There is a purpose, and there is a reason, and there's meaning for your life. Everything God has made, he made for a purpose. And the Bible tells us that God made you for 5 purposes. We also call these the 5 callings of life. And in the coming weeks, you're going to be looking at these 5 callings on your life, or 5 purposes for your life. And when you understand this, you're never going to be the same again. Proverbs 19:21 says this, "Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purposes that prevail." That's one of my life verses, because it says that what's going to last in life is not my plans, but God's purposes. And that's what you're going to learn in this series on Live Your Calling, God's purposes for your life. Now, I want to challenge you to do 3 things as we get ready for this series. First, I want to ask you to make a commitment to not miss a single week during this series. For 6 weeks, I want you to be here every week. I promise you, in fact, I guarantee you, it will be worth it. I also want to challenge you to get involved in a small group for this series, a campaign. Actually, the series is built on small groups. You see, what I'm going to teach you in the small groups is deeper and more conclusive and profound than what I just teach on the weekends. It augments what I'm going to teach on the weekend. If you're not in a small group, you're going to miss the major part of this campaign. Now, I'm not asking you to join a small group for the rest of your life. I'm just asking you to join one for 6 weeks. We'll help you get into a small group. We weren't meant to go through life alone, but God gave us the purpose of a small group to help us learn together. We're better together. So come every weekend and then go to a small group. Because as you hear the word on the weekend and you watch it in your videos in the small group and you discuss it in your small group, you're going to grow so much more. Third thing I want to ask you to do, bring a friend. You know somebody who needs to know the purpose of life. Now ask yourself this. How important is it that I know and fulfill the purpose for my life? Well, if you really think about it, nothing is more important than knowing and fulfilling God's purpose for your life. Why would you go through life wasting your life on something that wasn't your purpose? The same is true of your friends. A lot of people aren't interested in church, they're not interested in religion, but I've never met anybody around the world who's not interested in knowing the purpose of their life. So, get in a small group, come every week, and bring a friend. I'm so excited about what God is going to show you and do through you and do to you in this series. Get ready to be blessed, Saddleback. The best is yet to come.